check this. Hello? Just making sure, testing my audio. Hello? Just making sure, testing my audio. Okay. We will have to see if my audio is too low or not. But I also have to find the link for this. Where's this at? I never changed the thumbnail too. Oopsie. That was almost bad. Is there a way to like fix the thumbnail on this or no? Ah, this is how. Well, don't worry, Evan. We're gonna be streaming some development today, so I've gotta fix the thumb. Well, okay, I don't have anything actually for this at the moment, so we'll just do a random image, you know, just to make it. I'll explain that here in a minute. Just fixing up the thing here. I will do this for now. Okay. Copy this. Music is now back. Let me make sure everything is clear. And now we post it in announcements. Do this real quick. Okay. So let me just set up now. Actually lock in. Alright. So today's plan is to work on the rule home rework. Except we're gonna have to completely rebuild this map from the ground up because it's a rework, right? So what we have to look at is what's wrong with rule home right now and what can be improved on, right? So there's a lot of things wrong with this map. The rework is aiming to make the map better, right? Because I know a lot of people had a lot of complaints about this map, a lot of complaints. But the other thing is we're gonna obviously improve on it visually, right? So we're gonna look at this map in however way I can, right? But I also want to maintain obviously the aesthetic of the map. I do think it's one of the more scarier maps. Well, it definitely is, especially since the darkness plays a factor in. But we're gonna see how the rework is. But we're gonna focus on making the map just easier in general. I do think it'll still be the darkest map in the game, just solely because I want this map to actually stay with the how scary it is. So the darkness is likely to stay. However, I'm definitely going to improve on its layout. You're going to see a lot more closets too if you use closets way more. There's going to be a lot of things that I can improve on this map, but I do want to keep the darkness. But because of the map being dark, I'll also make sure its map multiplier is also higher in return for that. So we'll see what we can cook up here. First, what we're gonna do is lay the map out. Why did I stop doing dev streams for so long? I just stopped doing it. Well, first off, it comes down to just my schedule. I'm usually up at night, and I know not a lot of people are actually gonna be up at night. And because of that, I don't want to wake up like people around me too, because again, I don't wake up people usually, but I can sometimes be a bit loud. No, you should not move to Fairhaven. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to block out the layout, right? Figure out what the original layout is, and get an idea of this again. We'll just quickly go through over this. This process doesn't take too long, thankfully. This here, bathroom. This map. There's so many things I want to improve with this map. I can't wait to see how it goes. Learning Roblox Studio, it's not difficult per se, but it's just a lot of it just comes down to experience and time. You're gonna just have to devote a lot of time and effort into just getting used to how Roblox Studio works. Okay, it's not really that hard to do, but the problem is, again, it just comes down to your experience, how much time you put into it. It's just a lot. It's really not that difficult when you get the hang of it. But the other thing is, you also need the motivation. It is really easy to get burnt out. Asylum rework when? Probably not for a while. There's a lot I do want to talk about with future map reworks. Is Rule Home? Rule Home, I think, will be slightly bigger. Not too big, but just slightly. And the reason, so if anyone is wondering why I do have plans for an Asylum rework at some point, it won't be anytime soon. The problem is Asylum. So, as many of you know, 2.0 released with all, how many maps was it? I think 10, because you had 8 legacy maps, Asylum's rework, and Village's rework. Problem is, a lot of those maps that released in 2.0 were rushed, because again, that was a huge batch of maps releasing at once. So the problem came with making sure that all maps. Oh, is my mic still too quiet? Okay, let me fix this if I can. But let me see. I'm so confused. It says it's at 100. Okay, let me just bring it up really close then to my face then. But back to what I was saying, Asylum. Right. So 2.0 released with 10 maps around that area, and as a result, a lot of these maps were rushed and buggy. And if you played Asylum, you will understand. For some reason, that map is the only map where ghosts actually behave differently, and I'm pretty sure it's just due to how I developed the map. Any other map onwards doesn't really have that issue, so it's one of the reasons why I want to rework Asylum. It's also, in my opinion, losing its visual touch. I think it's a bit outdated. My favorite map has to be Private Home Estate, which is now what it's called. I love that map. I loved that map so much. Rule Home will stay dark. It was made on damn, can't talk. It was made to be dark on purpose. No, Castle's not coming back. There's 0 plans for Castle to return at the moment. But Estate, in my opinion, is just my favorite map. So I'm a huge fan of the Hitman games, and that's what Estate was based off. Was Hawke's Bay in Hitman 2, which I love. I love that. I just love Hitman in general. So Private Home was heavily inspired by that map. You can see if you've played that map before. I just love it. It's just such a good map. I love the detail and everything. There's just so much going on in that map. I love it, and I just love the lore implications of it too. With it being on the Lawson's house with Sky and Paul. I just love the map. It's just one of my favorite maps I ever worked on. It also has the most detail for sure out of all the maps. Another map I love is, I'm trying to think. There are so many. A lot of these newer maps are just so good nowadays. I loved Clinic. Loved Clinic entirely. That was another fun map to work on. I think its rework was fantastic. No, I've been working on SPECTER this entire time. I just haven't been streaming. So, to all my nightclub lovers out there, we did. This is the problem with nightclub. There are so many things I want to do with nightclub, but the problem is, there's obviously, as we all know, Roblox has age ratings now. I'm very worried if nightclub is to release in the state that I actually want it to release in. It's not going to be looked very... I'm just worried what it's going to do to the age rating. However, we did receive some good news that at some point, you know, Roblox is changing up its age ratings, and because of that, it's looking possible that nightclub could come back, and it's a map I've wanted to do so badly for a while. I think it's an interesting map for a horror game. The fact it's bright and everything, like, it's like you have again, there's so many things I want to do with nightclub, but I can't work on it at the moment. I'm just waiting for confirmation for something, but the moment I get confirmation, I will definitely start working on nightclub. So it's in the backlog. It's in the backlog, but it's not coming back anytime soon. So if you're expecting it in like a year now, no. It will not be like next year. What you can expect is, again, mind you, what I'm saying right now could very well change. There are so many things I want to do when it comes to maps, right? So we have the new map Bank, and then we have obviously towns where let me show this. The white floor that I'm doing is just the floor right now. What I'm doing is just mapping out the entire rule home layout. Because what I do is I'm gonna bring this layout away from rule home and see what changes I can make for it. But I'll show off towns here real quick. So one thing about Art Gallery that I will say, it will be replaced either end of this year or next year. It's going to be replaced by a museum. The reason we're replacing it is because we want to add, instead of Art Gallery, will, like, obviously the fan art will still stay, but we want to expand on the map. So it's going to be a museum instead of just Art Gallery. It'll probably be slightly bigger, but the main focus is obviously we're going to have like different statues. I think an idea we threw around is like a fossil at the entrance, like a dinosaur fossil. But there'll be different aspects of the museum that you'll be able, like different hallways and stuff. You'll have the art focused area, statues, and all that. It's something we're still talking about. Museum is not a map that I will likely not be making. That's a map that Low Polys and Mara is making. So if you just heard those names, your excitement may have just gone down because, you know, y'all remember Shopping Center was supposed to come out and it's not out yet. Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. But I have faith in Museum hopefully coming out. But again, that's not a map I'm working on particularly. Excitement dropped through the floor. I'm sorry, Low Polys. I'm keeping it real with the community. Okay. Hideout is a map that will be reworked too. Okay, so let me get this over with real quick. The map reworks that I have planned, right? Let me continue that before I continue working on Rule Home. So we have Bank in Town coming out here soon. Rule Home is next afterwards. There's a slight chance Rule Home may come out before Bank in Town, but I do have faith that Bank in Town will come out at the same time. Either way, if Bank doesn't release next update, it's 100% Rule Home then. There will be a new map regardless next update. We'll see which one. But I'm leaning towards more Bank in Town. You'll see that coming out. But so after that, I think those are the only two confirmed ones. Hopefully Museum comes out around that time. We do have a little exciting thing for Christmas. We do have something coming out there. Haunted Mansion will obviously return with Halloween. But this is where we're going to start entering territory of maps that I haven't fully discussed about yet. So we have a Hideout rework. Well, I'm planning on a Hideout rework. So Safe House will be merged into Hideout. I do think Safe House as a map was boring, but however, I do think of its Cursed Hunt being unique, the fact it's a lockdown, it will be merged into Hideout. So Hideout's rework will mostly be about Hideout, but Safe House will be slightly merged into it. So Safe House as a map will not be returning, but Hideout will. You think so far ahead, dude? I have thought all the way to 2027. I'm throwing shade here again. I'm sorry, but low polys and the rest usually operate by like a 3-month basis. I operate by a year basis. So we got we've got that. Okay, so I operate on a year basis. So we have Hideout after Bank. No, not Bank. After no. Okay, so Hideout's rework will likely release end of 2026 or start of 2027. And then this is where we start entering the territory of maps reworks that I have planned, but I have no idea when they will release. I do want to release the new map Isolation. Problem is, yeah, again, Neo, this everything on my end gets released on time. I have not missed any content since I think 2.0. I think I've released all my things on time every single time. So, when I say something, you can have faith that it's usually going to be done on mine. But that's how it usually works. And if I don't really, for instance, like I know Towns Rework has been taking longer than expected. That's because I grew bored of it, so I just put another map in its slot. I've actually released everything since 2.0, if I can recall, and anything that has okay. Tridents was a good map that I like to work on too. There's just so many things. But to continue what I was saying, Hideout's rework is at the end of 2026 or start of 2027. We'll see how my schedule goes. And then we have, this is where we're entering the different like territory. Obviously, I mentioned a nightclub rework. That probably won't be happening for a really long time. I would not hold your hopes up for that. So I think I laid out the map now. If we move this over. What's happening with Alleyway? Alleyway is likely not to return. Okay, so yeah, we got the rural home layout. Now it's time to like actually rework this. Factory okay. Let me pull up the list of maps that were removed real quick and see what it's because there's a lot. Let me find maps again. Okay. So I could say that Chalet, Safe House, they're not ever returning. Those two maps are completely dead. Safe House is being merged into Hideout, and we feel that Chalet is just a shittier lodge. That's basically it. Oh, Castle's not ever returning too. If I ever, for some reason, ever did Castle, it would be based off the very first Asylum layout ever. And that map was huge. Hence why it's never, probably ever releasing. So don't count Castle ever coming back. Luxury Home is a map I do want to rework. I just don't think it'll be in the next year. Just mostly because I think Luxury Home just competes too much with Private Home in Private Home / Estate in terms of like aesthetic. So it'll be a while before Luxury Home returns. Factory, we have discussed about maybe a factory rework, but again, if you're expecting a factory rework next year, I would not count on it. It's a map that I don't want to touch. Well, Polys has expressed interest in a factory rework or like some sort of industrial map, but it won't be, again, it won't be next year. That's for certain. Alleyway, I don't think will return either. But yeah, Lodge. So a Lodge rework, I don't think will happen. If anything, Lodge will get the same treatment like Cozy Home did. So Cozy Home was recently updated to Fireside. Its Lodge will likely receive the same update as that, where the layout will stay like 95% intact, but will be improved on visually. I do know that it's one of the more older maps, and aesthetically, it's starting to lose its charm. So the reason removing older maps is due to quality control and keeping up with map updates. So with 3.0, I had to go through every single map again, and because again, 3.0 changed how the game functioned in some way, and because of that, we decided this is the perfect time to remove the more terrible maps, the more outdated maps, and obviously schedule them. And again, it's something we didn't really want to do, but 3.0 changed how the game functioned in a way that I had to go through all these maps again to update. So, you know, because of that, we cut out the outdated maps, we kept the nicer maps in, and we decided a lot of these maps will return in rework. Where's the mall map? I don't know. That I'm not the one making mall. That map is currently in development hell, and I don't think it's honestly, if I'm gonna keep it real, it's not coming out to like. I don't know if it will come out. Let's be real now. I don't know. I'm not the one in charge of making mall. Low Polys was the one that decided to make Spectre faster overall. Now we have to look at how do we want to actually update this, because this is obviously this is the upstairs part of Rule Home, the first floor, and then the basement. I do think basement will be expanded on. Escape. So Escape is in an interesting situation right now. We would like it for it to return, but I don't see it returning for a while. Now, the one good thing I'll say about Escape's development is, if you have noticed, a lot of the things we've done recently, like glow sticks, the skill checks, a lot of it is slowly bringing Escape features into like classic game to make it easier for Escape's return. The problem is Escape still has its own, obviously, the whole other thing. So I wouldn't expect Escape to return for a while, but it is something we're still talking about. And it's something that we're slowly making our way over to it, but again, there's just so much to do with Escape. I just don't see it returning. I would not, if you're thinking like, oh, it's gonna come out end of this year, I really don't think so. I'm hoping next year, but I don't know. I can't say in full confidence it's releasing next year. As much as I want it to, it's just there's a lot we have to do with Escape still. And again, who knows, you know, obviously how the game is gonna be in a year or two also. So a lot of my inspiration for maps are usually found obviously online. Gary's mod is another one. Games I've played before. Hitman, like I said earlier on stream, like Private Estate was, you know, inspired by the Hitman's 2 map, Hawk Bay. So what maps are getting 100% reworks? Alright, so next year, yeah, this is gonna be Rule Home being reworked. No, we're not adding any of the OG maps because again, they're outdated, very outdated, and we have to completely redo how they play anyway. But the map reworks that are confirmed: Rule Home coming sometime this year. Hideout should hopefully be coming out late 2026, early 2027. And then this is where I'm going to start talking about different reworks that I've talked about. We've discussed, obviously, Luxury Home rework is something I want to do. If Spectre is still alive in 2028, then I imagine Luxury Home's rework should come in 2028. I know that's a far away, but, you know, we'll see how it is. Another map rework. I'm trying to think. Lodge, I discussed about updating Lodge at some point. Mostly because, again, Lodge's update will be similar to how Fireside was, mostly just focusing on the aesthetic of the map. I think Lodge's layout is fine with how it is. I do think people enjoy how Lodge plays, but I do want to update how the map looks visually. This is gonna upset some people. A cargo rework. I think it's fair to say that most people that play Spectre never touched a building of cargo. So as a result, I'm thinking of making cargo purely ship. Just purely focused on the ship at some point. I do think, because again, most people just play on the ship anyway. And I think that's what most people prefer anyway. So I want to make the ship more interactive. And obviously, So it's gonna be, yeah, no, it's a rework that I think people are not gonna be happy to know, but I think when it finally comes out, I think people will enjoy it because again, a lot of you guys only play the ship anyway, so I rather just focus more on the ship. Again, most people don't even touch the building, right? So I'm gonna obviously keep cargo, the ship part, as close to possible, but I do want to expand it because one thing I don't know, there's just so much I want to do with cargo, but it's just gonna be the ship. I do want it to be just the ship. I don't think Seaside as a map would be on its own. I also have discussed an Asylum rework, mostly because Asylum needs to be rebuilt from the ground up to make sure it's not buggy. The problem with Asylum, as I discussed earlier, ghosts behave differently on that map, and I think it's just purely because of how the map was developed. It is very unoptimized compared to all the other maps in Spectre. So Asylum's rework is another thing. I do want to also just, again, Asylum's rework would mostly focus on, I think, making it just slightly smaller, not too small. The layout would mostly be the same. I just want to improve. The main issue with Asylum is it's just so buggy. That is just the main issue with it. It's so difficult to play with all the bugs in it. I mean, as I've seen from the community, some of the fast ghosts stutter, and it's so hard to even like guess what the ghost is because they just lag on that map. And I think it's just because of how I built that map. It was unoptimized. I don't. We'll say you'll ever get a render. Okay, okay, wow. Yeah. Asylum is a map that I think just needs to be completely just retouched. Um, oh, so the bedroom in, I'm glad someone noticed that random bedroom in Metro. That is there for a Easter egg. So mind you, if we were to do Easter eggs again, it is very likely to be Metro. I want to see Metro again, and I kind of want to do another arcade boss fight in Metro. So the idea is you'd have a character in that bedroom, you know, discussing some things, you do some objectives and stuff, and eventually you'd be able to repair the elevator in Dirt Tunnel, and you would take the tunnel down, and there would be like a little boss fight area for an Easter egg, right? I want that so badly. I want it so badly. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if it is, I really want Metro to be the next Easter egg. As for what the lore implications is, it would be based on Steven. But we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't hold up too much hope for it, but it is something that I do wanna do. I do want to go back to Easter eggs, but the problem is right now we're more focused on improving the base game because obviously an Easter egg is cool, but it's only gonna hold people for just a temporary time, obviously. Consider doing a map with zero horror aspect. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I just feel like it'll be weird. So Hideout's rework will still remain small. Art Gallery, which will eventually become Museum, will probably be updated to like a medium-sized map. Trying to think. Lodge will stay the same size. What was another map that I discussed? Oh, Nightclub, if it is to return, would either be a small or like medium-sized map. Asylum would stay large, Cargo would stay large still, all that. Again, like I said, Cargo's rework is just, I rather just make it more focused on the ship, and overall just more interactive on the ship. I do think the ship is the coolest aspect. I think a lot of people can agree that Cargo's ambiance with the rain, the thunderstorm, is just, it's so good. I love it. And then obviously Asylum I discussed. Luxury home, if y'all want a luxury home rework, if Spectre's still alive, probably 2028, like I said. And then to people that want Shopping Center, I'm sorry, it probably ain't coming out. Low Poly's just has not been working on that map. He is instead focused more on obviously updating the game's features and hopefully Museum. Yeah, no, I plan way ahead. I plan way ahead because oh, I do want to do Isolation too, so badly, but it's a map that I just keep putting off. Another map. Oh, I do want to say there are other two. I did bring this up with obviously the lore mega thread, but there were two map ideas I currently have going on. A Mexican mansion style map called Hacienda. I just love the architecture of like just those like type of buildings, and I think it would be so unique to see that in Spectre. I hope it can return. Like, I hope I can make it next year. We'll see. That is a map I really want to do. I'm hoping. We'll see how my schedule goes. Again, there's such game development changes all the time, but that's a map I really want to work on next year. I want it so badly. And then another map I've discussed is some sort of like crime map. It's I don't know how to describe it. It would be around. It would be based off Obi in the lore, but it's a map that I want to do. That map is another map I'm excited for, but I don't think that'll be coming out next year. Again, the map I'm more excited for is Hacienda. I do think that is going to be. I think I'm going to enjoy making that map so much when I finally start working on it. But yeah. So we'll work on that. A sneak peek. Oh, so you'll get a sneak peek on. Oh yeah, I forgot to answer this, but yes, Armory and Blacksmith collections will have a mythical. So the Armory mythical will be a sniper rifle for the camera, and then the Blacksmith mythical will likely be a. Am I saying it wrong? I want to be surprised if I'm saying it wrong. Someone correct me if I'm saying it wrong. And then for the back to the Blacksmith collection, the Blacksmith collection will probably be an Anvil book. I do want it to be a more. So the idea for like the Anvil book is like, what do you call it? If it writes in like, obviously if it writes on the Anvil, there'll be like probably molten writing and then whatever random tool there is. So like, you know, again, depends on what it writes. It'll be like a sword, like a sword blade, hammer. I think it'll be one of the, because I know people express their disappointment with Rose Diary. Because again, all it does is just write. It's kind of a weak mythical, to be honest. But that's one of the reason why what do you call it? There was no mythical release this update, because there wasn't one made, and we weren't. I personally wanted a candle, like a cake candle mythical, but it just was never made this update. So as a result, the Anniversary collection and the Arrow collection just did not get what do you call it? A mythical. But yes, there'll be two mythicals next for the next two collections, Armory and Blacksmith. Again, Anvil book and a sniper rifle camera. There it is. Okay. I think I'm setting up the doors right. I'm just finishing up setting. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Finishing up setting the doors before I can start rearranging this map, because there's a lot to do. The odds will be the same as the current collections. Yeah, I don't have my old subscription for streaming music, so I just have to use the no copyright soundtracks for now. I'll consider getting my old subscription again, but it comes down to if I actually stream again. Wow, that door is tight. Yeah, that is definitely gonna be changed in the future. Yeah, you're gonna wait for, yeah, buddy. That, bro, Factory's EE is gone, bro. It's gone. That ain't happening, brother. Why is it like this? What? Dude. Is it actually that thick? Why was it that thick? No, I just made a mistake for it. All the songs and all the ambience in Spectre are custom made, so you can find it on my what do you call it, YouTube channel. There's a playlist. There's a video that contains all of it. Again, I'll see if I do more streams. And if I do, I'll get my old music back. But again, it was a subscription thing that I couldn't, I can't use it anymore because I canceled it. So the live stream would be copyrighted if I did play it. Yeah, I think we got. Oh yeah, this. I don't know. When you talked about the hunt sound, which you probably talk about the one that Low Poly's made. I don't think there actually is a video on it, because it's just a 30-second track that obviously loops. It was made by him whenever that came out. I forgot whenever the new hunting music came out. But no, I don't have that. It's not on my channel. It's something that Low Poly's has. Okay, we've got the rural home layout arranged. This took way too much time compared to what I usually do. Just too much talking. Kind of hard to do multiple things at once. But now we have to see, what are the issues with Rural Home? A lot of dead ends. I think a lot of people can agree. Rural Home had a lot of dead ends in the map. So that is something we're going to need to improve on. And if a room is going to have a dead end, obviously either have a closet or somewhere to loop around that room. So, first area we need to work on is, what do we do here? So now this is where I do the fun part again. Copy it again and completely redo this. Okay. I see chat just keeps asking for mommy ASMR, bro. So, one thing I do want to keep the same, exactly the same, the entrance of Rural Home. I do think this part is, I don't really think, other than like kind of family home, but this is what I'm gonna definitely keep this part the same. So we'll delete the rest of this. I'll have to bring it up if we can, what do you call it, return the original, because obviously we've been adding soundtrack options. I'll have to talk with Low Poly's if we can return the original, the Legacy Hunt music, because it is a file that we made. It is made from damn, it was made for us, so it's something we can return. It just depends if Low Poly wants to do it or not. Okay, I do think, let me double check this. I have it in this. So it should be, yeah, okay. Okay, well, this is, this is starting to make me, yeah, wow. Sometimes, if I donate 100k to the game, will Cypress get lore? I don't know. Hold on. Okay, Can I say this? You Shiny Rock, you say, what do you mean we normal? Weren't you the one that drew me pregnant? I know somebody drew me pregnant. I don't know how that's considered normal. Somebody in the community drew me pregnant. I know who somebody did. I saw the picture, which was insane. Oh, my bad, my bad. As if that makes it any better. Drew me in a bunny suit and I mean, the summer art was fire. I'll give you that. It's like oh, okay. Okay. Oh, this is what happens, bro, when you're a developer, I guess. Was there a... Oh, wait, no, I'm stupid. I can just look here. Yes, I am aware that the audience is freaky. It is something we've come to terms with. Dude, add a femboy ghost. Fame changed me. Okay. Yes, I'm doing okay. I've learned to deal with the community. It's remarkable. Remember me when I'm switching up, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta switch up if that happens. 15 by 20. Damn, this room was small. Okay. Alleyway was removed just because nobody played Alleyway since Silent Night and Fireside exists. Type 1. Okay, dude. Yeah, no, I'm looking. So if you're looking at, what do you call it, where my mouse is, you can see like the size and all. I'm definitely gonna be improving the size of it because these rooms were tight. I do want the map to still be small, but they were very tight. 24 by 36. Oh, right, because it indents because of the kitchen. Because of the... Yeah. Yes, I'm AI. What you're hearing right now is SPECTER GPT. Dude, what the... This is... Okay, dude. Sometimes I just wonder what I even did to do to deserve this, bro. Can we get a butterfly themed crate? You're gonna have to ask more of that because I'm more focused on the what do you call it? The more realistic skins. So before I can continue, what do you mean we treat you well? What? Actually, genuine deal. If I donate 150k, will Lazy Fox get fucking removed from the game? Bro, you can't even get Lazy Fox anymore. Luxury Home was removed. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Did Argentina win, or did what happened? Okay, yeah, Argentina won. Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed that? Can you bring back the Smiley Ghost model? We have plans for it to return. I think the issue is we gotta, what do you call it, rework the animations, because I don't think the current animations are. I don't think its animated animations was updated. So well, it's something that we do want to return, but its animations do have to be updated, if I recall. I don't think it has updated animations. Oh, come on now, LeBron's going to the Timberwolves. Come on now, that's what my TikTok's been saying. He's going to the Timberwolves. Cause we gotta. Do you mog? Whoa, whoa! Now nobody mog Clav. Nobody mogs Clav. That guy is like our Superman. What do you mean? Have y'all seen it? Have you? I don't know if any of you understand the reference, but there's been like TikTok clips of him like somebody points the middle finger at Clav, and it looks like that exact same scene of Superman where someone throws something at him. So everyone's just calling him Superman. It's beautiful. Brandon is a skin for Ethan at the moment. Dude, I love TikTok sometimes. It's just wild. Oh my god, those were some man, those skins. I don't know. I didn't really like the original ghost models in Spectre Legacy. What's the? Oh yeah, that's the issue. This should be 1.5, 5 tall. Like, hold on. That's stupid. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, we're right there. No, bro. Okay, Legacy. I think a lot of people have nostalgia. There are parts of Legacy I did enjoy. Like, I did. What did I enjoy? I did enjoy like original Asylum. I love the concept of it. It was just way too big for how it was. It's even there. For there. Yeah, no, Legacy was just it was very early on in our development career, so we really didn't know what we were doing in the beginning. We just freeballed, honestly, and because of that, like looking back at it, I do wish we obviously didn't make Spectre 2, but the problem is, dude, that code is so like it's remarkable how bad that code is. It is so bad. But it's just I don't know. Like, there are parts of Legacy I do enjoy, but it just comes down to it's so outdated. The way the game was coded, I do think the skins in Legacy suck too. The problem is, it was just easier for us to make a new game than rework Legacy from the ground up. Like, that's the one thing with Spectre 2 right now. It's unbelievable with how much better the code has been. It's so easy to actually rework how the game functions now. So yeah. Don't worry, I will change Rule Home's layout. Right now I'm just trying to get it as similar as I can. I'm trying to make the map just overall big, because I know I need to make this bathroom bigger. It is so small for what its original size was. Trying to think what I want to do here. Let's switch it up here. I don't think we'll ever give influencers skins, and not to mention, Angelic Ability doesn't even play Spectre anymore. Bro, you can stop asking the chat how much to donate for mommy ASMR, bro. Dude, okay. Every time, every time. I don't know what I expect streaming to change, but no, it's just, you know, what do I expect, bro? What do I expect? Thank you, low pause. Thank you. Oh, this community, bro. This community. I am not adding Catboy Emilio. I've told you a million times. That skin is locked away. Oh. I think I think Angelic just AFKs in Legacy, basically nowadays. From what I understand. Well, you love us. Oh. There's a reason why I'm the one streaming and probably no other developer will. If Aloris was streaming, this stream would have been ended probably 5 minutes into stream. And if Low Poly's was streaming, this stream would probably be like half banned by now. Dude, What do you mean door update? I'm confused. Doors swing both ways if you mean that. You can open doors in any direction. Because I don't want a door here anymore. It's gonna be yeah. Make it 8 studs wide instead. Yeah, I believe that 2 years from now. I can't blame you. I've discussed this before, but I just was taken aback what I just saw. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. What am I seeing? I can't even focus on this anymore. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the issue with Sophia, Kiyomi, I don't know if I just said that right. I probably butchered it. Hugo, they were made during the era. Oh, Cormac too. They were made during the era where we just stopped working on exotics. We didn't really want to release any more exotics. But obviously, as I've said earlier in stream, development plans change all the time. I regret the fact that they're outfits and not actual. Nobody asking about Hugo. Wow. Okay, but I regret the fact that they're outfits and not actual exotic characters. If they were made nowadays, yes, they would be exotic characters, but because of the moment, the era they were made, they weren't, and it's something that that I do regret, like a lot. Yeah. Oh my god, bro. What does Hugo even do? He's a goat. Come on now. But yeah, there's a lot of characters. I mean, there's not really many characters. It's just really the Lost agents that were screwed over. I do wish they were, again, like actual characters. Okay, so we've got the entrance idea, right? We're gonna need some feedback here. All right. So this is gonna stay the same. This is not changing, right? It was just made 1 stud bigger though on just this side. Living room is still gonna be to the left. Now the question is, how do we do this upstairs, right? Because I do want to keep this intact. The question is, how do we arrange this? Because obviously now we need to somehow. I do want to make the map more loopable, right? So, the question is how. How do we achieve this? Because we're in the area where Rule Homes Rework has to start making a lot of changes, I think. Because again, the idea with Rework is you have some core features of it, but it's also gotta change it up a bit, right? I think this will stay the same, but the problem is now it's deciding how the rest of this map goes. This is where we start making changes, because obviously I don't think this will work, right? This obviously, because look at this, right? You had to enter before, and if the ghost room is here, like, it is just so tedious walking all the way. Like, this is a crazy dead end. Crazy dead end. Yeah, I have looked at the skins mega thread. The one thing I'll say, I wouldn't count on many skin suggestions being added in 3.2, mostly because I've already made a lot of the skins for that update. However, afterwards, yes, I will be adding a lot more skin suggestions. It's just mostly comes down to the fact that I already have the entire event theme lined up for 3.2. So we've got the. So let me bring this out real quick. There's like, so let me show Clinic real quick, right? Let's move this over here. So for instance, let's just delete this. This. Okay, so obviously with Clinic's rework, obviously the rooms themselves can be like dead end, but there's nowhere really on the map where it's fully like a dead end. Like this area, kind of, but you still have space to sort of juke the ghost. You have the closet here, but there's again, like, look, you just go through here and you got somewhere to loop here. But then let's look at Rule Home again, right? Rule Home right here, right? You got this room. Okay, if you have hiding disabled, you gotta juke the ghost. You got this. The closest loopable spot is right here. We need to add something here, obviously, because obviously not every room is gonna have like a loopable spot, but I do think that you should be near a loopable spot, because I know a lot of people do complain that sometimes some maps are more difficult to play than others, which is why I'm glad how Clinic turned out. Obviously this is a pretty long hallway, but again, you have multiple areas where you can like there's the 3 core areas. You have the lobby, the main floor, and then the break room. Those are the 3 loopable areas. What's another map? Right, Fireside. I reworked this map not too long ago. If we get rid of the roof, showcase this. So we show, like, obviously Fireside has 3 loopable areas, right? You have the dining room, the kitchen, and then obviously the living room. How many areas did Rule Home actually have? Because I can only think of 2 at the moment. Okay, no. No, you can't. There's 1. Two. Oh, garage is 3. 4. Yeah. No, this has to be. I think struggling with what I can do here. So I gotta include the bathroom. Well, I mean, I don't have to include the bathroom here. I could move it somewhere else. But I do think it makes more sense to holy shit, this one's ass. I'm not playing that one. I do need to see how I wanna figure this out. Because obviously we have the guest bedroom here. You're gonna have the living room. We have the garage here. Let's get to the kitchen. Let me pull up some what do you call it? House layouts. Let's see what kind of ideas can we get here. Ooh. I'll have to figure it out. Because we have a staircase here, obviously. So. Okay, yeah, we're gonna change this up a bit. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna delete this part. We will have the bathroom here still, but we're gonna switch it up. Question is, do I want to keep the... I'm trying to think this right now. Where's the Rule Home? Okay. There's a lot that I gotta switch up here. Oh, nope. Wrong tab. Wrong tab. There we go. Back on it. So let's change this. So this is going to be a different way of doing it. So we'll have the. Okay, I do like this idea a bit more because this time now the basement will actually be in the basement door will actually be in the hallway instead of the kitchen. Other than the main three, Aloris being the least. Okay. Oh, there's. Oh, the slander is beautiful. Well, I don't know if it's slander when it's the truth, but you know, it is what it is. But so it's the core developers are there's Low Poly, Aloris, and then me, and then Mara is more of a she only works on skins and the ghost models. So she made the anniversary crate, arrow crate, kawaii crate, and then the recent ghost model, the ghost child model that's coming out eventually. I forgot when it's supposed to release, and then the crawler. Is lore still useful? We'll see. I'm hoping, you know, I did have a talk, right? I'm hoping that we can switch up how development's going, because I do think if we want Spectre to continue to become, you know, obviously bigger and healthier, I do think we had to reevaluate with how development is going. So I'm hoping we'll see how it goes, but there's a little talk, and we're gonna see how it goes within the next few weeks. No, he's not being fired. We're evaluating. We're looking at how to schedule different like tasks to stuff, because right now it's Aloris comes in. He does a lot of lobby stuff, but the problem is when it comes to the main game, again. Low Polys has done so much on the main game, it becomes hard for the both of them to work on something in the main game because of all the different changes that have gone through. Again, 3.0 Spectre changed how the game functions and all that. Aloris is still probably used to how 2.0 Spectre works main game. So we had a little discussion. We're gonna see how it goes in the upcoming weeks. Like I said. Hopefully he can back up to speed so we can actually have two people working on the main game. So Aloris mostly does the lobby side. He's another coder, and Low Poly's also his main function is also to code as well. I believe since Aloris is a bit more lobby, he does. Low Poly's works on the actual UI. I think Aloris actually codes the UI, if I recall. So there's that. The person narrating 3.0 was Low Poly's. I'm honestly surprised he didn't get bullied for that. I was expecting some people to bully him. So kudos to him to not being bullied. Let's play Warrior Cats RP. I feel like I've played one before, and I think that was it. So the staircase in Cargo that was under the bridge, what do you call it? Was originally going to lead to the engine room, which is something I do want to do again. I discussed Cargo's rework earlier. Like I said, Cargo's rework would just be purely the ship. I really want to actually include the engine ship, like the actual like interior of the ship underneath, right? I do want to do that. That is something I'm hoping to include. That was the original purpose for the bridge door, but it just never was made because of just time constraints, and I felt that the map was just too large if I included it. Yeah, no, that was quite something else. The fact that some people did not realize that what do you call it? That people that the update wasn't canceled. It was just a refresh. See, not have an issue with this because if I include the stairs here, I have a feeling it's gonna. I don't recall how the Ghost AI worked on Rule Home before. Did it like bug out here often? I forget. 'Cause I feel like this is gonna interfere with its pathfinder with how short this scene can be. I may have to move it. Yeah, I would like a cargo EE, but I think the most cargo is gonna get is just the, obviously the Ethan Splash. I mean, not Splash. What is that skin? Overboard? So yeah, we're gonna have to move this like probably here so it doesn't deal with it. Put the door here. Yeah. Because we'll have the hallway continue down here. We'll have the. Okay. Well, either way, I'm gonna move it because I feel like it just is probably better for me to move it. I just don't want to deal with that with possible issues. I forget, right? Yeah, I moved it. Let's move it back. I'm trying to recall. The splash skins may. Oh wait, hold on. What did I? Oh, oops. That's what I did. I put too far. Do one. Okay. 4. What's gonna be that? Let me look at the ID I had. Let me see, cause yeah. Alright. Let me. Ooh, I think you're talking. Let me pull a town. Workspace, town. What do you call it? Here, towns rework. So what we have here, right? We have the different aspects of town. So obviously we have apartments, warehouse, motel, and then obviously bank. Just it's pretty empty right now, but I have an idea. It's probably gonna be what do you call it? It's definitely gonna be 2 floors for sure, but there will be a vault. There will be a vault. That is guaranteed. I do want to be evil, so there's gonna be like tiny deposit boxes everywhere in the vault. I may put what do you call it, a bone spawn in there, so we'll have that. But yeah, this is the bank. This is how the interior looks empty right now. But we'll update it here. But if you're talking about this building, the periodic, no, this won't actually be playable. These buildings are just textures. They never were playable. So one thing about Towns Rework, originally it was larger, so apartments was actually right here. It was as big as this area. Motel was, I think, right here. Warehouse was here. Bank was here. We originally had there was gonna be a barber shop, a corner store, a fast food restaurant. This is what it's supposed to be, and then a gas station. There were supposed to be like 8 different like sections of town. Then I realized that is way too much for a map, so I just shrunk it down. So in the end, it was motel, warehouse, apartments, and bank. All right. Well, goodbye, Sean. Well, hold on. Whoa! Why did I say goodbye to someone that's from Ohio? I'm gonna listen. if y'all don't know, I'm from Minnesota and I'm a Michigander, right? I don't got fucking I can't be chill with Ohio. All right, people from Ohio, they just. Mm, I won't forgive you for Toledo Strip. All right, I won't forgive you. I won't forgive you for that. All right, listen. The Michigander in me is coming out. I'm not taking that disrespect. All right, well, there you go. But yeah, that's town. The only section left is bank, and then there'll probably be like different probably obstacles obviously within like the roads and stuff, but we'll have that. But let me take these obstacles out the way. So this is how town's likely to be playable, right? You'll spawn here, right? You have the bank, apartments, warehouse, motel, different stuff in the middle. I don't think. Okay, so first off, you won't be able. This area, when the full town map releases, you will not be able to use these doors. I know for a fact the ghost is not using these stairs. It is gonna absolutely break. So we're not even gonna bother with that. So it's gonna be blocked off here, right? This door will be blocked off for warehouse. But you should get an idea of how the map will be. I still gotta fill out the streets and stuff, but. And I also really do want town to have like functioning street lights, so you may see the actual lights change like from red to green, obviously and all that. But and if you're wondering, all these street names are made up for the city, because again, town takes place in a fictional city called Fairhaven, Colorado. So back to Rule Home. Now we gotta work on, what do you call it? The stairs. Sweet. So the basement in Rule Home is definitely gonna be what do you call it? Bigger. That's for sure. Because I want a more unfinished look for the basement. I wasn't a fan of how the basement looks at the moment. Oh, and if you're wondering, Rule Home will be renamed to Grief, because we're going to continue keeping map names to just one word long. No, I don't think Raymond and I don't think Ivan can be Gotten anymore. I think they're just completely out. So if you missed them, you missed them. Now I need to figure out how to do the basement layout, because what I want to do with the basement is have an actual unfinished look for the basement. Like the wood beams and stuff. Have probably a bathroom, probably where the fuse box will be, like a little utility room thing. So we'll move it right here. No, there will never be another Daybreak collab. I feel it's just been, honestly, we weren't a fan of how the Rework, not how the collab went and everything. I feel like it's just a lot more issues, if anything, just came about it too. A lot of these issues. Now I gotta move this over to the right side, probably. Yeah, there's a lot to change in this. Damn. Oh, this is the. I was trying to keep somewhat, trying to keep it somewhat intact, but it seems I'm gonna be flipping how this works. Because, yeah. But the first floor hall. Oh, hello, Kates. Or cats, however you say it. You were probably not in earlier in the stream, Beth, but what do you call it? Shopping center basically ain't coming out. It's not a map I'm working on. So let me clarify this, right? All the map. So it's easier to say the maps I didn't work on. I didn't work on Village. I didn't work on Chalet. Damn, I think those are the only 2 maps I didn't work on. Yeah, every other map has been me. I don't have to script anything for when it comes to what do you call it, the actual map setup. I just the way it is, it's super easy to set up a map. Can Aloris make a map? No, he does not build. He is strictly a scripter. He does not work on he does not work on maps whatsoever. That is not his job. That is my job. Birth, dude. Okay. We're gonna move this here instead. This. See, this is how the start of every map rework begins. It just a lot of it is just going back and forth with how it starts. A lot of progress won't be made till the layout's completely done. Okay. No, Classic Chalet's not planned to return. When is Freeze Tag getting a... is the stream still going? I can't tell. Okay, I don't know what just happened on my end. Okay, wonderful. I don't know what's going on right now, and well, I'm confused what's going on. So this is what I hate. I have really fast download speeds, but I don't have fast upload speeds. So I'm guessing that's what's going on right now. Okay. Because yeah, if we do this, no, I'm drinking water. Anytime you hear this, it's me drinking water. I'm picking it up. You are not getting mommy ASMR. So we just make this here. Yes, yes. This kidney stone did indeed change who I was. Okay, that big. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. So, living room is probably gonna be on the right side now. This is gonna be very interesting to see how we switch this up. Okay. That kidney stone will forever it changes who you are, bro. I can attest to that. You do not come out the same man. So yeah, we're gonna have the living room here, but we also need to figure out how we actually want to arrange this now. Or no. We're gonna do something different here, actually. I don't know. I might pull up another layout. This is the thing I hate. I hate making layouts at first because it's so annoying trying to figure out how I want to like make the map. Once I figure out the layout, everything will go by smoothly. Everything. You know, the joke was my kidney stone was a baby. When I got it removed, people were like, "Man, you aborted the baby." You know, it is what it is. Let's get the front. This is gonna be annoying. Hop off those Plan B pills. Okay. And we'll add this here. Different window. So my process for building is it's a combination of things, right? So I'm looking at a reference right now for layouts, right? So I'm looking at different like house layouts and mixing and merging the layouts right now. No, I did not place the Tung 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 Sahor Easter egg. That was all Polly's. But so yeah, I look at different layouts and stuff and lay it out. Hence why it changes a bit. And sometimes it's fuck it, we ball. We just ball. The billiards room will not be removed in Hideouts Rework. Don't worry. That's too iconic to remove. No, I'm not. Listen, I already have somebody that I have to listen to practically every day yap in my ear about Tung 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 Sahor. Every damn Instagram video is Tung 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 Sahor, Tung 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 Sahor. You know how funny Tung 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 Sahor is? Tung Tung Tung. That's all it is. Let's see. No, I don't love Tung. Yes, agreed. It needs to go, bro. I hate brain rot so much. Look at what it's doing to all of us, bro. Yo, I swear to God, bro. Oh. Listen, bro. I don't ever want to hear that ever again. Tung X Eternal, bro. You ain't a part of this. As if you weren't shipping me with 2 times before. I really need to lock on this layout here, dude. I just keep looking at chat to see what heinous things are being said. Okay, let's double check. Look up different. I'm trying to think. What would we'll look at like 1960s house layouts. Maybe this will be a bit better for what I want. This is the most difficult part. Sure, just trying to figure out how I actually want to lay this out. I'm not moving right now. I'm, what do you call it, just looking at layouts right now. So if I'm not moving in studio, it's because I'm looking at something at the moment. Trying to see what I want to do here. I'm not moving on stream right now, guys. I'm not doing anything on it right now. So you're not gonna see anything on the stream at the moment. Still looking at this right now. Okay. We'll do this instead. This is gonna be interesting. Trying to figure this out. Delete this, delete this. This up. This. Doing another layout change. Get rid of the top floor for now. This over to the right. Keep this there. Just fixing this up, changing this all around. Oh, whoops, my bad. I just looked at the stream. Goodbye, Kates, cats, however you say it. I don't know. Let's move it here. Move this back here. Actually, let's just delete that for now. See this. Can you get the music a bit quieter and your voice a bit louder so I can... Okay. It's low polys now just saying it, bro. Yes, so I know it's crazy to see, but I do read the suggestions every single day. It's my morning routine. I wake up every day, look at suggestions, look at bug reports, and I always forward them. Again, I build, so it's just you know, it's just how it is. And again, the other thing is you have to remember a lot of it is just we obviously have to agree on what we want to add, what we don't want to add, and all that. This. Okay. So what the plan is now. Okay, I'm skipping this one though. Oh my god. That was so bad. All right, so we have. What I want to do here is okay, move this to match up with this wall. 8 studs, 5. So this is the plan. So we're gonna have the dining room here, the hallway, the living room, kitchen, and then obviously garage here on the side. And then this is obviously gonna be, we'll have to find out where I want to include the stairs. We'll have to figure that out. But first, we're just gonna finish this up here. So how do I? There's gonna be a wall here. 2 studs, yep. This. Put a little indent in this area. Give it some depth. We'll figure out the window placement here later. The cat behind cargo should be there still. I don't think it's removed, is it? I don't think it is. Alright, I'm back. Is the stream back? I did update the encoder. Someone said to adjust the settings for that, so hopefully that fixes the issues. Let me know if it's still having issues, because I had to update the stream settings here. I did have that a bit quite high. Let me look at it again, because is that maybe a bit too high still? Well, we'll play around with this this new setting and see if it has issues still. Let's see this. Alright, I was going to continue working on this side of the map. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this table, get an idea of how large this thing is to be. Okay, this is quite large. Wow, this is quite large. Just make it a box so I can get it perfect. Icy milk does not work on Spectre. This is what, 5 studs wide? Yeah, 5 studs wide. So if we have it in the middle, it'll be 8.5. Nope, I'm stupid, 9.5. Yep. And this here, this should be, yep, 12 in the middle. The thought process behind writing lore on Spectre Legacy was fuck it, we ball. That was it. There was no no thought process. Hence why it was all over the place. I don't remember what was used to make the spirit box audio. I feel like this is way too big for a dining room. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting part. Make the spirit box. I wouldn't be surprised if it. I forget if someone voiced it, if it was just text to speech. The audio is going to be different depending on where you are and stuff, like what country you're in. Just how streaming works, from what I understand. No, I'll fix this. Alright, this is where I use a plugin. We're gonna do something different here, because I don't recall any map actually doing this at the moment. Nine, 5. Here so we can make sure this is actually, what do you call it, lining up here. I hate trying to figure out how Roblox's new thing is sometimes. Yeah, turn off collisions. This up. There we go. Spam unions. What a brilliant idea. I should. I don't like how actually big this is, so. Then I'll have to resize align that. Plugins. Wonderful. The plans for Ghost plushie was, I think, November. That's how long it's been in plans for. Now I just need to figure out how I want to arrange the kitchen and like actual living room. And obviously we need to determine where to put the bathroom and stuff. Bro, it's not July 4th, bro. You save the fireworks. I don't know when there'll be new ghost types. I honestly have no idea if it's even in the plans for a while. When the stream is completely done, it should be the whole thing should be, what do you call it? Watchable, because YouTube should combine the two different streams into one, if I recall. I think I had an issue like that before. I'll have to check again with my on-code settings, because I think I still have it a bit too high. We got the dining room, this will be the living room, obviously kitchen area. Going with a more unique way of doing this. No face cam. No face cam. Yeah, I would really love character plushies. I think Jonas would be the first one. I would really, for me personally, I agree. Brilliant's the one I would really want. Mason Winters would be another one that I would love to do. James Phoenix, Sky Lawson, Hiromi. There's just so many. There are so many characters I would love to see plus. Ideally, I would have one of everything, but I don't think that'll ever happen. You know, as much as I would love it, but Breland is the one that I want the most. But I think realistically, I think Jonas would be the first, and then Breland next. And then obviously Mason Winters, he's another goated character. Well, I mean, the issue is if there's a Mason Winters plushie, he's absolutely being put through the gutter for me. That man is not. I'm torturing that plushie. I'm telling you. He has not seen the light of day. He's not seen any happiness from me. Oh, you know, I don't know when Winter's running from the plushie is, bro. The newer lore characters do not have any actual set, like, what do you call it, stuff areas yet. Lazy Fox would be cute as a plushie. Oh, that is definitely gonna set a lot of people off in here. Just need to figure out how wide I want the kitchen to be. Probably 3. Yep, dining room. Yeah, you can tell this is gonna be a completely different map, I think, when I'm done with it, when I finish the layout. Let's see here. Oh, no. Yep, obviously. We'll have a door there. Let me look at this again. Let me see. Here. Yeah, I don't even recall the factory Easter egg anymore, so I don't even remember it. It's been that long ago. Let's see this. Can we give Ghost Head more drip? I don't know, bro. That's something you gotta ask Well Polys. We'll see if this window, like, little thing stays. Still debating. Can we get a plushie of me? No. I don't know. I think seeing the fact what the drawing, what fan art has been made, I think it's best we don't make a plushie of me. Ask or demand. Okay. Okay. Dude, should be 10. No, stop grabbing that. No selfie either, bro. There will be no selfie. Okay. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why there can't be another plushie. Oh, I'm already scared what y'all gonna do to the ghost plushie, bro. That poor ghost, bro. He's definitely gonna see better days. I feel like I'm making this like living room area too large at the moment, because kitchen is obviously gonna be, it shouldn't be too big, right? If we grab let's grab this. Can I talk about how ridiculous this kitchen is, bro? Like, let me go back to it, right? When I move this over here. Yeah. Actually, we can probably make this. Like, we'll do 16 studs. Yeah, like look how terrible this is. It's just 4 drawers, a drawer here, the sink, the fridge, and the stove. This is so bad. This is so bad. We are definitely gonna need to improve this later on. We'll figure out how. We'll have a window here probably. Yeah. There's a lot I can do with this area. Don't ask what I was cooking up here, bro. Cause let me find where did I put it? Like if we look at fireside, yeah, I gotta turn this light on. When we look at fire, like at least the kitchen here makes way more sense, right? In America, you usually have a lot of houses at least I've been to have a microwave above the stove to act as an exhaust house. But you know, it makes a bit more sense than like all the other. But a rural homes kitchen, I have no idea what I was cooking up there. Oh, and you actually have a dishwasher. Marlene murdered Trevor on the stairs, so wherever the new basement will be. Counter is kind of, yeah, it's a bit large for fireside, but you know, it is what it is. I think my favorite kitchen has to be, like, in general terms of use, probably family home. Because you have the island for the sink, the stove, the fridge. Again, the microwave should be over here, but you know, it is what it is. We're not here to make real authentic houses. And after all, with how American homes are built nowadays, is it any different? Not really. The only difference there I change would be the microwave over the, what do you call it, stove. And then estate is a whole nother kitchen design. Let me pull it up. Just move this down real quick. And then estate's kitchen design, a way larger kitchen in general, just because again it's a fancy house. No sink in the island. Still, it's just here instead. The stove, obviously the whole fridge, and all that. Washing machine. See, one thing I've learned is there are houses that have like cabinets here that will like go over here that open from both sides. I have never seen that once in my life, but I guess it's a thing that actually exists in some houses. Which is kind of weird. I've never seen that before. But I do really want to make a house that I find randomly on Zillow. Like there are, dude, the amount of cursed houses I have seen on Zillow is outrageous. Explain that there was this one house I saw where in order to the bathroom was in the attic, and in that bathroom the door, okay, let me like a little demonstration, right? So let's say, so this is like the average door size in SPECTER, right? I'm just gonna do a little thing. But it was, dude, it was the weirdest like bathroom I've ever seen in a house. But we do this, right? Okay, all that. So like this was the bathroom door, right? It was cut in the corner. So then you open, right? You would open it up, right? Obviously, the reason it's cut in the corner is because it's in the attic. You have a shower, a toilet, and then next to it was the laundry machines. I've never been so confused in my life. First off, why is it in the attic? Second off, why is it in the bathroom? Third off, what the fuck is the layout of it? It is amazing. Honestly, it's amazing how some houses are made. It's like someone decided to say, I want to make a house, and it's like they've never done it before in their life. I've never seen that before. It was wild. Another crazy house was this guy. I don't know what they were doing, but I guess they put, this was the most insane one, but I think it was I don't think the house was fully done, but they just released, like, you know, sold it anyway. But the kitchen was right next to what do you call it? I'm trying to think. Okay, so there was the kitchen, right? You had the sink, and then next to the like kitchen sink was the toilet. There was no wall separating it. The toilet and the kitchen sink were basically right next to each other. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, oh, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's just that one little area. No, the shower is in its own area though. It's just completely encased. It has its own door, but the toilet is just in the middle next to the kitchen. And I'm like, who designed this? I don't think it was supposed to be like that. I'm assuming the guy just left the wall unfinished, but it confuses me why they would wall off the shower and the sink, but the toilet's just next to the kitchen. But you know, it is what it is. I'm just, there are some insane houses. I just don't understand. Again, I'm gonna assume that they just never finished that wall, but still, it's just weird. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to take a shit, and someone's trying to cook food. Are the particles just not gonna go up in the air into the food, bro? Yeah, no, I know a lot of people absolutely diss the ceiling fan and the fireside, but that is actually how one of my houses was. There was a ceiling fan in the bathroom. Did it absolutely stink? Yes, but it was there. Sometimes you just learn that some people just build houses to build houses. I would understand, again, if it's a game house and everything, I would understand, but these are real life houses people actually have to live in. And I'm shocked that some of this just passes. Like, does this not violate some, like, things? I just don't understand. It's just wild to me. Anyway, back to working on this, since we're talking about, like, random-ass things. So we'll delete this. Let's figure this out, because I like to call the random houses just crack houses, right? That's basically what they are. So we'll have a little hall here. This will probably be the pantry room. Because I don't think we actually have a pantry room right now. Do we? No, I don't think we do. And then... this, okay, I guess this house... the layout I'm looking at right now has the laundry room here instead. It's laundry slash mud. In fact, let me use the bathroom. Alright, we're back. Oh, damn, I almost fell. Alright. Yeah, no, you can find some interesting houses if you go on Zillow. It is beautiful. Bro, all I didn't even take a dump, bro. All I did was... okay, bro. There's no way you heard it. There's no way... hold on. There's zero way. How does my mic catch my bathroom from that far? My bathroom is in a whole nother room. Now, hold on, let me test this. Let me test this. We're gonna test something out. If y'all can hear the birds that are across the house with the door closed, I will have to adjust my mic settings. I will be shocked. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If you can hear the birds from across the house, we will see. Oh, the walking you're hearing is probably my cat right now because she's right next to the mic. What is it? What? So let me know if y'all hear the birds here, because they are across the house. With the door closed and everything, I swear if you can hear them, I will be shocked. I'll have to definitely adjust my mic settings if that's the case. Bro, thump so hard, bro. Oh my god. Bro. How much pets do you want? I need to work. Can you stop biting? There's no... Hold on. If y'all actually heard the birds chirp, I swear to God. Alright, back to working on the layout. I'm not even bullying her, she keeps wanting pets. I'm just trying to work right now. Look, I'm not surprised if you hear the fireworks, because there are neighbors popping fireworks at the moment. This. So, do gunshots count? Oh, I gotta work. She's currently just. What were you? No, it seems like she's just looking at the fireworks now. Colombia is up. Okay, okay. I know a lot of people were not happy with how the Argentina game went. Look like, because I need to obviously with the upstairs here, but then we also need to have the downstairs area. That is something we do want to do, is have character interactions within the map, like so James Phoenix having an interaction, you know, in Grief, in Rural Home if he enters the basement. Mason Winters talking about, you know, the state of his house, not house, his office with all the paper everywhere and all that. I don't know if Hideout's basement will have a. I don't know if Hideout's Rework will have a basement. Not sure yet. Because we got the kitchen, probably laundry room. I mean, there's a laundry room. Wait a minute. Is there no laundry room? Yo. How is there no laundry room in this map? There's no... Okay. Because it's not here. Yeah, there's none in this map. Okay, wow. Never knew that. Okay. Guess I'll just have to get it from another map. Oh, they dirty in that home. Okay. Did you have to slam into my mic? She's going back to the window. Haunted Mansion does... Damn, okay. Haunted Mansion does not have a bathroom. Since its layout is exactly the same as the classic Haunted Mansion. Okay, yeah, this will be plenty of room to fit. And then plus the closet in here too. Perfect enough. Fuse box too, and all that. We'll keep that there for now. And then, like I said, this will be the food pantry. I don't know what the Filipino bamboo mortar is. I guess we can do the garage. Washing their clothes in the... Yep. I guess so. Goodbye. Goodbye, Sigil. I feel like this is way too big for a garage. This is 22. 32. Oh, actually, it's a bit larger. This is just a great way to ensure how big it is. Okay, yeah, this is perfect size. I was wondering why people were talking about Passport, but you know, now I understand. I just clocked the music lyrics. Passport. You know, I'm gonna be really mad if my new Passport has Trump's face on it. That is for a fact. Goodbye, Bacon Frog. We'll have, because I could obviously just do the. Yes, the only reason I work on Spectre is because I am paid. I would not be doing this for free. Favorite character skin? No, I'm not being paid minimum wage. I'm being paid way more than minimum wage. Hence why I do what I do. It's really easy. Really easy. I mean, the thing that I usually... The main thing I really do it for is just the fact that flexibility. I can do whatever I want. I don't get told what to do. if I left, I don't. Realistically, I don't think I'm taking. The only character I think I would take for sure is Greenland. But realistically, I think I would just rework all my characters, rename them or something. Let me go through the characters list real quick. Like, I think Greenland, Samantha, Hiromi. Zahid. I love that guy. He's one of my new favorite characters. I think those would be the only four I would really keep intact with, like not really change anything. The rest I feel like I could change a bit, you know. Again, there's like a lot because again, Spectre has a lot of different characters. Obviously, a lot of them don't really matter in the end. They're there obviously to be there. But yeah, but it really depends. Some characters, I think the easiest thing would just be rework. What do you call it? Most characters. And just obviously mix some characters into one. So let's see this. Back to working on this. So we got the basement stairs. You're taking Marco. Sorry, but Chiefy made Marco. You gotta remember that. Ah, I see. I see. You'd also take James, Anthony, James, Steven, Zhao. I think I don't know if I said her name. I think that's how you say it. How do you say it? Wait, let's see this.
Jiao.
Zhao. Okay. That's the man, with some of the newer characters. I don't know how to pronounce some of these newer character names. That's for sure. There are just so many. I'm trying to remember how to. What do you call it? Trying to. What do you call it? Uh, yeah, y'all may have seen something, but you know, we're just gonna, you know, pretend y'all didn't. No, you didn't see anything. Y'all didn't see anything. Understood? Y'all ain't see anything there. Well, let's see what we do with the basement there, but I think the basement will probably cover way more, like about like this big, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know how the XP system works. That I don't. It says okay. Yeah, it says XP. I don't know how it exactly works though. No idea how. You know, it is what it is. it may reset when you leave and rejoin, maybe. I don't know. Because I don't think you'd be maybe watch activity. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, resets per stream. You are not getting a lore dump in stream, I think, ever. Let's see, how late is it getting? 9:37. Alright. I think I'll stream for another like 20 minutes and then I'll end it. Because I think one of my friends wanted to, I forget if we're playing a game tonight. I forget if he's off around this time, but we'll see. And then we'll see if I stream on Saturday or Sunday. We'll see how it goes. I will give one thing though, I guess. Let's pull a random skin here. Workspace folder, was a blacksmith. What do we show off? I guess I'll show off this because I already showed it before, but one of the new crucifixes that's coming out. I'm never hopping on Fortnite. I legitimately hate Epic Games as a company. God damn, that's a... Damn. They are a very... I hate the CEO so much. I refuse to support Tim Sweeney whatsoever. I just hate Epic Games as a whole. One of the worst companies out there. If you want to know what great game companies there are, it's id Software, IOI, Interactive. That's really all I can think of. I know a lot of people love Rockstar. Again, Rockstar makes good games, but when you look at Rockstar, they do overwork their developers a lot. I think they're trying to make a union right now, and Rockstar keeps blocking it, so there is that issue. Again, I know a lot of people are hyped for GTA 6. You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm sure I'll play GTA 6 at some point, but you know, that's what it is. Another one. I think this one I showed in sneak peeks already for everyone, but sawed-off shotgun crucifix coming out here soon. And hopefully, we do this, you know, when it gets used up, the plan is to, you know, eject the shell when it's used up. So, you know, I think it'll be really cool if we can get this to work. Valve's another good company, but I feel like over time, I don't really look at... I think when it comes to games for Valve, I think they're really weak nowadays. I don't like where the direction they take with CS. It's just... I don't know. I'm just not a fan of how... Valve as a company, like with the Steam page and everything, I think is great. I love the work they're doing. But as for the games, I feel like they're... I don't know. I feel like there's a lot left that they could do. But, you know, those are the two crucifixes we'll show. Like I said earlier, I don't think we'll be doing another collab just in general. The Daybreak collab just left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm surprised the birds have not been chirping. The lights is on and everything, so I'm surprised I even gave them extra food to see if I can wake them up. second place I'm gonna suck trying to come up with, but I also gotta finish this up. No, I don't play Roblox games at all. Ever since I worked on SPECTER, I just don't really touch Roblox. I don't know how to feel about this one. It's like, it's way too big. Problem is, if this is a bedroom, I just feel like it's too large. They're shy. They know we can hear them. I don't know. They're really loud usually. I don't know if there'll be a Q&A stream. I know we had one before where there was a dev Q&A, but the problem is trying to get Allures and low polys in a Q&A is probably going to be like impossible. No, there probably won't be a time. I'm sorry. That was like when I was like 14 or 13, 14. I don't remember how long ago that was. Those were some interesting days though. Shout out that friend though. I don't think he plays Roblox anymore. Oh, you missed that. We used to. So I had a homie, and we used to play like like raise a family game, and our main goal was just to kidnap people. And we were a gay couple. So that's what it was. It was an interesting experience. I don't know what we were cooking up back in the day, but you know, our young minds were flourishing. I could say that. What the? We were, you know, we were just doing whatever we could as kids. Struggling what I want this room to be. Because this will probably be the bedroom. Oh, we need the bathroom still. That's right. That's what we need here still. I feel like if I want a bathroom deal, I'll make the room a bit smaller. No, Castle, like I said earlier in the stream, I highly doubt will ever return. Because the idea I have for Castle Rework would be a complete... We'd be using the original Asylum layout and reworking it as a castle, but I don't think that'll ever happen. It's just way too... I'm just not a fan of Castle in general. Again, I do think the map concept is cool and all, but... I just don't want to do a map if I don't think I'm going to execute it very well. That's one thing I do want to do now. Yeah, this real... I'm just getting really annoyed at this layout. I feel like there's just so many things I want to do with it, but at the same time, it's just figuring out how do you rework Rule Home from the ground up. I may have to, yeah, I definitely will have to hop on some like Gary mod maps and see some like more different house, because these layouts online, they can be useful, but sometimes I gotta get the creative juice up if I play like Gary's mod. Metro was a map that was inspired by I think like 3 different Gary's mod maps. I loved with how it was. So we'll have to see this. I mean, either way, with maps, Rework is like way down the line, so I don't have to get it finished. But I just want to obviously finish it. I'm not adding Skibidi Toilet. I'm not adding Skibidi Toilet. I'm sorry. The reason the reason I made OG Asylum huge was I just really wanted it to be a huge map, you know. I loved it. Is this because I never accepted your friend request, Shiny? Fame changes people. Okay. Yo, they are just blasting fireworks left and right. It's not even July 4th, bro. Won't add mommy ASMR or femboys. Sorry. I'm sorry. It just can't happen. Alright, it ain't. I guess someone's just getting blasted right now. It's a shooting. That's what it seems like. So we'll have the bathroom here. Maybe we can get what? I swear, if you're talking about Maid Emilio, no, he's not ever releasing. You can keep dreaming, buddy. Let's see, does this look a bit better? If it's like, yeah, I'll do that instead. No, I'm shocked that that Spectre has yet to actually have like a tomboy character. Really. Is there going to be a 4th of July code or something? I don't know. I don't know if Low Poly's had anything planned. I'm more concerned if Low Poly's has the next update on schedule. Sure. I don't make the code. I usually don't make the code rewards. Like a Filipino tomboy. I don't recall all the ghost model names. I think one of them is called Disfigured, if I recall. I think that's the one. I'm trying to remember. I think one of them is called Mutant. So I'll have the door open this way. Door open this way. No, there's no chart with all the ghost models. Man, this is an interesting set of doors here. The door has to open here. Let me grab a door real quick. Make sure this is. Alright, someone just got killed by a shotgun outside, it seems. So originally, Breland was never supposed to be an actual, like, main character. She was always supposed to be, like, some sort of I can't say it. Well, she was supposed to be originally a villain. But then her story changed because I liked her a lot more than Mason. I'm like, wow, she has a way more cooler design than Mason when I think about it. So then she just eventually took over. Making sure that none of these doors... Yeah, we'll be good here. This obviously, if you're actually playing the map, make sure not to open both 2 of these doors at the same time. It's gonna be annoying, but see that. The writing process for Philip, I needed someone that wanted to, that had a connection to Trident but wasn't an actual Trident member. Someone that didn't know that they were secretly working for, what do you call it? You know, like a criminal, right? Like Natalie, and, well, Alexei obviously is, oh, he's just in his own boat. A lot of people love to bully him. Yeah, the original concept for Breland was she was a villain originally. I'm trying to remember what she did, what her original like story was. Goodbye, Katsukates. Again, I still haven't been told how it is exactly. Breland was originally a villain. Again, that changed pretty quickly after or again, like it didn't even last. It didn't even last at all. Like the moment Archaeology's Easter egg came out, I decided, nope, I'm switching it up. And then obviously when Spectre 2 came out and all that, with the wall rewrite and everything, Breland was just given even more of a purpose after, especially after what you call it, part 1 and such. I'm just still trying, because obviously this is going to be the bedroom, one of the bedrooms. Horror. Y'all trying to get me from my Midwest accent. I know a lot of people don't like. I know a lot of people that I talk to do not like how I say wolf. They really hate it because they're like, "Why do you keep saying wolf?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm saying just wolf." And they're like, "No, you gotta say it as wolf, wolf. Say the L." I'm like, wolf. But you know, it is what it is. He's like the. Yeah, they're about the same size. I get, from what I understand, I guess the way the Midwest says wolf is just a bit different than like the rest of America. I just know I kept pissing off my friends with how I said it. I don't know why, but you know, it is what it is. So we have 2 bedrooms down here. Wow. Okay. So I can just decide the rest of this. We got 6 more minutes before I end stream. Well, we'll see. Yep. Okay, wonderful. That's just how it. Again, I guess they really pissed off some of my friends that weren't Midwest. They're like, "You're not supposed to say it like that." All right, well, blow it out your ass. How about that? No, I don't live in Denver. I live in Minnesota, and I also lived in Michigan for a short time. Which is why I got a beef with Ohio, right? Anyone from Ohio, don't hit my line. It's gonna be a nightmare trying to figure out how to. Actually, no, this is actually pretty simple because if I just move the pantry here instead, pantry door. Get to. I just had to make it known. I don't fuck with Ohio. All right. The little bit of me that's part Michigan, it just can't forgive people in Ohio. What can I say? Listen, as someone in Minnesota, I don't think many Minnesotans actually look at the rest of the country and think of it as now, fuck Wisconsin. Matter of fact, I got a little rant about Wisconsin. The fact these bums try to say they have more lakes than us. You count puddles as lakes. You count puddles as lakes. Yeah, no shit, you have more lakes than us. And even then, if we had the same definition as Wisconsin, we have double the lakes. So I hate when someone from Wisconsin says that, bro. I hate that so much. Again, just Minnesota actually labels lakes as lakes. We don't count puddles, alright? So get out of here with that. Georgia, I have no idea. There's not much information I can do with it. Ooh, this is going to be a problem, because if I do this... Where's this at? Door. This is definitely not how it's supposed to be. Virginia. I can't fuck with Virginia, because someone I know that I don't like was from there, if I recall. Sorry. You just had to be lumped in with them. Can I make a list of states I do and I don't fuck with? I think my only states I would fuck with are Minnesota and Michigan. Any other state is basically off. Maine. We'll put Maine in there because I haven't seen any stupid stuff from them online or met anyone stupid from there. But that can always change, right? It's just how life is, bro. It's just how life is. Yeah, this is not gonna work because the door is just gonna slam into it. Unless, of course, I do it another way. Can you blame me for having beef with the rest of the country? Like, do you see how people just... I'm so disappointed with how America is sometimes, bro. I feel like Minnesota is one of the actually good states out there. You know, we don't vote stupid. We actually keep we try to keep our best of people, you know. We respect people out here. Yeah, there we go. So now doors with interfere. Oh, we have like a little coat hanger here. DC, DC. They could just, I don't know, bro. Listen, and that listen, Minnesota, we stay low key, all right? We stay low key. It's how we operate. It's why we usually don't get into trouble. Usually. I forgot, what, 2021, there was a lot of news about Minnesota. Not great news, unfortunately. It was pretty terrible news. But like, come on now, we win too much in Minnesota. We had ICE agents pull up because, you know, we just weren't fucking with the rest of the country. The three issues with Minnesota is one, a lot of data centers are being pushed right and left. House taxes, I think we're in the middle with house taxes. So we're not great for house taxes, but we're not terrible either. And honestly, after that, it's just there's really not much in Minnesota in the first place, right? Damn. There's not much we have out here. Other than like Mall of America. It's like the only thing we have is Mall of America. There's already a Minnesota map. It's Lodge. It's in Lodge is in Duluth. This is gonna definitely be a bigger house. Yes, that's where Mall of America is Minnesota. That's like the only thing we have out here. But you know, that's what's needed to be what do you call it? To stay low key. Well, there was a furry con in Minneapolis last month, so you know if you any furries out there, there are some cons out here. Minneapolis is where like most of the stuff is. Now, people online will say that Minneapolis is burning to the ground. You're gonna get shot and killed. They could, you know, I guess so. But yeah, no, Minnesota's a very chill state. I think most people can agree that for the most part, whatever you are, whatever race, gender, sexuality you are, you're most likely gonna have a good time. Just stay out of the part of rural parts of Minnesota. They're not exactly the best part. And then depending where you are, again, obviously this is gonna apply to like any state. It depends on where you are and all that. Yeah, no, people. I love when people try to say Minneapolis is up there with like murder cities, like it's like O Block or some shit. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I. It is. It's just wild to hear that. And I remember when because my friends, right, they never traveled out to any other city back in the day. They only knew Minneapolis, and they're like, man, Minneapolis is such a shithole. They go to one other city, Anchorage, and we're like, okay. I always told my friends, yo, Minneapolis is like heaven compared to like other cities I've been to, right? I've been to San Francisco, Chicago, Detroit, um, Dallas. Trying to, what city did I go in Florida? I don't remember what city I went in Florida, but they, it's like, yo, bro, Minneapolis is really safe. Like, yes, it's not. Is Minneapolis the safest part of Minnesota? No, but that's just how big cities are always going to be. It's no surprise there's going to be a bit more crime there. But when you compare Minneapolis to like the rest of the cities in America, yes, Minneapolis is one of the safer cities to be in. That is for sure. Um, it depends on what part of Detroit you're in. Detroit, you honestly, that's the thing. A lot of people that say like certain cities are bad and stuff. It's just the best way I can put it. If you're looking for trouble, you're gonna find trouble. Most of the time, most of the cities that are like fear mongering around them, you have to like actually go out there and like look for trouble yourself. For the most part, you'll be completely fine, depending on what city you're in. Most cities are honestly you have a pretty good and safe time. Again, you have to like be out there at like midnight, in the middle of the dark, in like the most dangerous part of the neighborhood to actually experience most of this. St. Louis, yes, St. Louis is terrible, mostly because I hated St. Louis traffic. Oh my god, was St. Louis so terrible to drive in? I hate the roads. I didn't know a place could be that bad with roads. I thought, Duluth roads were bad. Nope. St. Louis, Missouri was awful. Which does suck because that's where the most of the Bosnian community is in St. Louis. Unfortunately, they got stuck in one of the worst, one of my least favorite cities for sure. There's not much here I can do. We'll just put this away because I think I really yeah. Then we'll put it here for now. Bring out back the rest of the stuff that I was working on. And then I just wanted to take a little break from town because I just hate working on this map so much. But I gotta lock in with town again. And I think I pulled out everything. Yeah, I just like this. Go with that. Good. Why is their house so big? Well, okay, Fairhaven, Colorado. If you talk about rural home, it's just um, the maps in SPECTER kind of have to be big ever since with pathfinding and all that, because the ghost just if it cannot or okay, all right, well goodbye, Kate. The ghost just cannot handle tight spaces, which is why I have to make rural home bigger as a map. As much as I would love to keep it tight as possible, pathfinding is a concern for us, so we have to finish it. No, I'm so stupid. Pathfinding is a concern, so we have to make sure maps are large enough to deal with the pathfinding, to give them more room, which is, again, because the issue is honestly a lot of the maps in SPECTER, some parts of it are like, you know, it's the right size and stuff, but like, I know people were like, oh, what about the shower? You know, like, let me break. The shower is pretty wide, honestly. It is pretty wide. But the issue is, if it wasn't this wide, the ghost struggled with smaller shower sizes. So, as a result, this was the best size I could get. You know, it's just something that will forever hold me back in map building is pathfinding. Because of that, I have to make sure maps have a certain distance, certain, you know, range and stuff that you can actually fit around, and the ghost can actually properly navigate. Or else you can have issues where the ghost gets stuck, or he just decides to teleport through obstacles, which is a big no-no. As to how the ghost teleports through the damn pool in a state, I have no idea. He just does somehow. And yes, the street names are just put in random generators. The signs are just UI. And you can see there. Pretty easy, I can change it to whatever, right? See? Bingo Street. Pretty easy. Really easy to change. No, Roblox is absolutely taking us down the moment we say Kirk. So, yeah, I think the next thing I'll have to work on is bank. I need to actually lock in with this map now. No, it is what it is. But I will just move this over. Actually, building. Ohio ain't doing shit to Minnesota, bro. Y'all still have to go to Michigan anyway. Y'all light shit. Don't come at me. We'll just leave this here. And if you're wondering what the bing sound is, it's just me saving my work, so I don't lose it all. Or whatever development I did. So, I think I'm gonna be ending it here. I'll do some last minute talking before ending the stream. It's just no copyright soundtrack that I did for the playlist. I don't have my subscription for my old playlist, so I can't use it for now. Again, I haven't decided if I'm fully going back to streaming. We'll see. Let's just see how it goes. Alright. So, that's it. Don't think what else I can really do. Obviously, would love to show this, but I can't show the rest of the blacksmith collection. Hold on. To the people that were wondering what the leaderboard rewards were. Damn, I said that completely weird. Here it is. The different skins for the next leaderboards. This is the exotic. It's gonna be a candle. That's the entire batch of skins. That's what people voted for. Alright then. Well, we'll see if I stream again. Not sure, but it's gonna be it. That is a turkey fork, bro. Okay. Well, before I go, I gotta leave y'all with a parting guy again. Here he is. But that'll be it. We'll see if I do stream again. It'll probably be Sunday. I'm not sure, but we'll see. All right, this is it. See ya. And by the way, if you're wondering who that is, that's bald Robert Downey Jr. I love having him just randomly, but that'll be it.